The framing effect is a cognitive bias that happens when people make decisions based on how information is presented or framed, rather than on the actual content of the information itself. This bias argues that the way information is presented might alter our view of reality and impact our decision-making. For example, let's say you're offered a new job with a starting salary of $50,000. If the job offer is framed as a 10% increase from your current salary of $45,000, you may be more likely to accept the offer than if it is framed as a $5,000 increase in salary. This is because the percentage increase is a more favorable frame that makes the offer seem more appealing. The framing effect can also impact how news stories are presented. The way a news story is framed can influence how people perceive the event and the actions of those involved. For example, the framing of a news story about a crime can influence whether people perceive the perpetrator as a dangerous criminal or as a victim of circumstances. Similarly, this effect can impact public policy and political decisions. The way an issue is framed can influence how people perceive it, and ultimately whether they support or oppose a particular policy or political stance. Politicians often use framing to emphasize certain aspects of an issue and downplay others, depending on their goals and objectives. For example, a politician might frame a tax cut as a way to stimulate the economy and create jobs, rather than as a way to benefit the wealthy. Advertising and marketing frequently employ the framing effect to sway consumer behavior. To highlight a product's advantages and generate excitement and anticipation, it can be advertised as new and improved. Instead, a product may be marketed as a limited edition to generate a sense of scarcity and urgency, enticing customers to buy it before it's too late. The framing effect is not always a bad thing. In some cases, it can be used to nudge people toward positive behaviors or outcomes. For example, a campaign to encourage people to save energy might frame it as a way to save money on their energy bills and reduce their carbon footprint, rather than as a sacrifice or inconvenience. Yet, the framing effect can also be utilized to influence people and exploit their preconceptions and prejudices. For example, a news item on crime could frame it in a way that emphasizes the race or ethnicity of the offenders, thus promoting bias. To avoid falling victim to the framing effect, it's important to be aware of how information is presented, and to try to consider the actual content of the information itself. This can be challenging, as we are often unaware of the impact that framing can have on our perception of reality. However, by being mindful of the potential for framing bias, we can make more informed and rational decisions. In conclusion, the framing effect is a powerful cognitive bias that can significantly influence the decisions people make. By being aware of the way information is presented and critically evaluating messages, we can mitigate the negative effects of this bias and make more informed and rational choices. That is all about the framing effect. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel, Explified.